Love me at my worst, choosing character and potential over wealth and status. And you know I always bring the science and psychology into the mix. I call this video Love Me at My Worst, not because of the song, but because that's where real partnership begins. Not when one has arrived and the other is riding their coattails, or the power couple that introduces a host of other challenges, but in the days of struggle, of vulnerability, and imperfection. Anyone can love you when you're winning, guys. What truly matters, though, is finding someone who sees your potential, who sees the real you, who believes in and supports you even when you haven't arrived, even when you're at your lowest or most uncertain. That's when lasting bonds are built, and that's the heart of making smart, science-backed choices in love. Hey everyone, I'm Henry. You're watching day 57 of my channel, Henry's Millions, where I dive deep into psychology, spirituality, and the science of the mind, unlocking your personal potential and helping you understand the forces that shape your life. So for generations, the stories women have been told about love and mate selection, they've prioritized flashy success, material comfort, and visible confidence. Romantic comedies, family lore, and even modern dating advice often paint the wealthiest, most dominant man as the natural prize, or the safest bet for a fulfilling life. But beneath these inherited scripts lies a powerful science-backed truth. Your happiness, fulfillment, and resilience in love hinge not in chasing surface signals, but on identifying and nurturing true character and growth potential, the qualities of the so-called black horse partners. That's what I'm calling it from now on. So this talk distills robust findings from psychology, cross-cultural sociology, neuroscience, and relationship science, providing you with a deep, actionable guide to transforming your mindset and your love life. Don't worry, it's going to be easy. It's going to be useful. So how do these cultural scripts and social conditioning shape our attractions? Aren't we born with this? No, we are not. So there's a hidden power in social scripts. Our attraction defaults are not simply our personal tastes. They are the product of powerful social learning processes, ways of unconsciously copying behaviors and preferences that are modeled by others. Psychologists call this the mate choice copying. And studies show we're drawn to those pursued by others, especially when high status or influential people set the standard. Think about that. You realize it's true. So this prestige bias amplifies the appeal of resource-rich, showy men, regardless of whether those traits actually make for a good partner. What is the role of this social validation? Society prizes what is visible: status, style, material signals, great car, nice watch, a home, money in the bank, false confidence. Family expectations and peer pressure reinforce this bias, makes it feel even safer, even necessary, to pick the man who looks like he already made it. But the research cautions that social approval and actual relationship satisfaction are very different things. I want to repeat this for you. I mean, come on, you know this. Social approval and actual relationship satisfaction are very different things. You must have heard about the person that married for money and what happened a few years later. So when you follow the crowd script, you're less likely to find the authentic, enduring connection that leads to true partnership. What about the evolutionary myths versus modern reality? Henry, it's 2025. What are you talking about? There's this outdated provider script. Oh, this is a trigger word for a lot of people. You provider. So traditional evolutionary psychology holds that women are wired to prioritize providers. But as cultures shift and women gain independent access to resources, to global studies, including meta-analysis across 36 countries, show that the older model is no longer a fit. Throw it out. The provider model is gone. When women control their financial future, their mate preferences change profoundly. Traits like ambition, kindness, intelligence, and the capacity for growth quickly outrank immediate wealth or status. Wake up, good morning. Things have changed. In one large cross-cultural study, mutual attraction and love, trust, dependability topped the list for both men and women. It topped the list. Mutual attraction and love, trust, dependability. These top the list for both men and women, far beyond any financial markers. These preferences grow even stronger as a society's gender parity increases. That means as men and women become more equal across many different factors. All right, well, what about these gender differences? So while researchers still observe some sex differences, there still are differences between men and women. We're not completely the same. Such as women tending to value emotional stability a bit more. These gaps are shrinking as economic and cultural equality expands. So both science and our lived experience are converging. Real compatibility and shared growth now matter far more than static material advantage. So what about this black horse term? I didn't create the term, but I'm going to go with this. I'm going to make a big deal about it. It's black horse, man. Forget about the alpha and the beta and all this BS. The black horse is in now. So there's science-based potential behind this, not just wealth. So what is this black horse, man? He's not necessarily the flashiest or wealthiest guy in the room. Instead, he possesses ambition, resilience, integrity, and a hunger to better himself. I also want to add some authenticity or humility, right? None of this false confidence, fakeness. So he's the man willing to grow, dream, and build a shared future, even if he starts with less. Come on, we all started with nothing at one point. Well, not everybody. Some people are born with a golden spoon in their mouth, but most of us started with nothing. And some of us start with nothing, we make it, we go back to nothing, and then we try to make it again, right? So I'll be filming an upcoming video, by the way, about who is the black horse man and how to identify him in the crowd. He's the one you want. Remember to subscribe to be notified of this upcoming video. You can do it right now. So why does potential and motivation outperform wealth? Henry, you're ridiculous. Cash is king, right? Cash is king, yeah. But sometimes it's only cash and there's nothing else. All right, so there's some research here. The Harvard Grant study, 75-year longitudinal study, survey tracks men's lives and relationships, found that emotional connection, not financial status, is the single strongest predictor of both life satisfaction and long-term health. Again, emotional connection, not financial status, is the single strongest predictor of both life satisfaction and long-term health. Take another sip of that coffee. So when couples face life's obstacles and successes as a team, rather than starting with inherited comfort, they develop deeper trust, gratitude, and pride. Oh, the keyword gratitude. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know about gratitude. Gratitude is great, but it's not a driver for growth. It's great though, makes you feel better. So I want to introduce you to something called the Michelangelo phenomenon, or Michelangelo phenomenon. So psychological research illuminates how loving, supportive partners actively sculpt each other's best potential over time. This is called the Michelangelo phenomenon. So in relationships where both partners believe in one another's capacity for change, for growth and achievement, satisfaction and happiness soar, regardless of their starting material circumstances. Look it up, it's great. Michelangelo phenomenon. Supportive partners sculpting each other's best potential over time. Sounds great. What else? Growth mindset, emotional intelligence, EI. It's all over the workplace. And altruism. So contemporary studies confirm that traits like altruism, emotional intelligence, and this growth mindset have greater impact on long-term relationship success than surface displays of wealth. Forget about that watch, or the gold bracelet, the gold necklace, or the Mercedes keys. We're talking about altruism, emotional intelligence, and a growth mindset. They have a greater impact on long-term relationship success. So when people are explicitly asked about what they want from a long-term partner, good parent and good partner traits, such as emotional reliability, generosity, and the drive to improve, they consistently outrank the good provider traits. So real quick, what actually predicts relationship fulfillment? Emotional intelligence. You want to solve your conflicts, right? You want to repair the issues when they happen. Altruism and kindness. You want to have trust, stability, safety. A growth mindset drives resilience, adaptability, and ambition. Come on, guys, life is tough. Things aren't always great. You need this. Motivation and support. You want joint progress, deeper intimacy. Deeper intimacy is great. I know some people are afraid of that and they just run away or cause problems whenever you're trying to create more intimacy. But intimacy is great. So loyalty and reliability. So these are the things we should be thinking about, talking about, looking for. So why does wealth remain overvalued? What's the cognitive and social science say? So mate choice copying and prestige bias. Okay, these are two things here. Mate choice copying, copy what others are doing, and prestige bias. So our brains are wired to notice what's socially rewarded. If everyone around you values status, you're unconsciously pressured to do the same. Social psychology calls this mate choice copying. Whatever people around you are valuing, you're going to be pressured to do the same. And it finds it particularly prominent when mate choices are publicly visible or socially validated. Okay, think about that. Think about how the people around you, your social group, are affecting your mate choice selection. And then we cling to conditioned scripts like status quo bias. We stick with the familiar, even when it stops serving us well. And then there's social validation, approval from family and friends. It outweighs our own authentic instincts. And then there's this endowment effect. Like once you invest in a partner, you overrate their visible strengths and you underplay their deeper gaps. So yet as the research on mate value trade-offs reveals, these are learned, not fixed preferences. They're learned. When women's circumstances change, so do their mate criteria. Autonomy catalyzes a greater appreciation of internal qualities, shared ambition, and emotional partnership. Okay, reverse the old script. So let's address the fears and the resistance. This is going to be good. Okay, so this is the case for potential over present wealth, right? I'm making the case for you here. Go after the potential, the black horse. Don't chase the guy with the money and the fancy car. Why? Let's go over this. So you'll say, Henry, what if the black horse, what if this guy you're telling me to go after, what if he never succeeds? So a man's past matters less than his trajectory, ladies, his pattern of motivation, his ability to recover and desire to grow. The black horse men are often propelled to new heights when they meet a partner who supports, believes in them, and invests in their ambition, right? I've heard this before, some women can be, or people can be called kingmakers in history. It used to be only one or two people. Sometimes it's the woman, sometimes it's a right-hand man or woman, but that can help a person become a king. That's what we're talking about. That sounds amazing. So, and then, Henry, will my loved ones approve? What if they don't approve? So social validation focuses on the visible present. But a deep supportive partnership aligned on values consistently outperforms superficial approval in predicting happiness and stability. So ultimately, only you live in your own relationship outcomes, right? Nobody else is going to be waking up and sleeping with you guys. At least not in most cases. It's a crazy world. So isn't wealth the safer bet here? Come on, you can't be real. Well, there's no risk-free choice in love, right? Steady, sustainable relationships are built not on static assets, which can diminish, but on the capacity for mutual growth, adaptability, and shared achievement. So the couples who endure setbacks and build a life together, they develop a team identity and greater resilience. So now off to the neuroscience briefly, the brain and hormones of attachment. We've all heard about these hormones swirling around in us, making us see things differently. So here's what the brain studies reveal. Modern neuroscience shows that durable love and attachment activate distinct reward and safety circuits in the brain. So brain imaging demonstrates that the insular cortex and anterior cingulate cortex, I just want to sound smart on this video, they're areas tied to emotional safety and trust, are the most active in long-term emotionally resilient couples. And then there's the hormones of bonding, acts of nurturing, emotional sharing and support, not wealth or resource displays. Trigger the release of oxytocin and vasopressin, the body's love hormones. Oh, these are great. They're great, but they blind you. So these biological processes increase trust, calm stress centers, and build lasting relational security. Relationships are built on mutual support and growth. When they are like that, they stimulate these pathways, laying neural groundwork for resilience and affection. So conversely, what destroys love? What builds, what destroys long-term love? So there's some things real quick I'm going to share with you. There's something called the dark triad. If you've been watching a lot of YouTube, you probably heard about this. The dark triad, the dangers, and superficial confidence. We know about superficial confidence. I don't like that very much, right? Authenticity over fake confidence. Traits commonly mislabeled as attractive, like narcissism, manipulativeness, shallow confidence. Really, women see this as attractive. If you go out, bar, club, lounge, or whatever, I mean, these traits are seen as attractive. There's some biological underpinnings that are psychological. So these are actually tied to higher rates of breakup, divorce, and ongoing unhappiness. Ta-da! Research from 2024 shows that individuals high in these so-called dark triad traits, narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy. Oh, these sound terrible. I hope you don't meet someone like that tonight. They're more likely to be in single or unstable, unsatisfying relationships. Okay, even if partnered, their relationships are less secure, loving, and enduring. Plenty of research online about that and how to avoid this. So just real quick I want to note about emotional intelligence, support, and the 4 horsemen. No, not the AI training at the workplace. John Gottman's decades of marital research spotlight 4 destructive patterns. It's funny, it's like now the workplace, the corporations are doing the job of raising people. We got emotional intelligence. I don't know what's coming next. In the future, your boss is going to want to meet the person you're dating and give you their approval. I don't know. Okay, the Gottmans, right? The decades of marital research, they spotlight 4 destructive patterns. It's really good. I wanted to interject this into 4 destructive patterns: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. These doom relationships, for those of you that are so averse to looking up relationship advice online, I think this is great here to interject that, okay? These doom relationships, criticism, contempt, defensiveness, stonewalling. Look out for those. If you got them, you really have to nip those in the bud. So these stem from low emotional intelligence and lack of mutual support, not from missing wealth or status. All right, so what is the antidote to all these? All the qualities that the Black Horse Man has, and supportive partners, emotional attunement, loyalty, collaborative problem solving. Great. All right, give me some science-backed steps for the ladies out there watching this video. Want to shift your script? All right, I'm going to give you 5 things you can do. This is going to be very helpful, all right? Number 1, write your love autobiography. Reflect on your past relationships. Which attraction patterns have actually brought you happiness? And are there recurring types that you chase out of habit rather than fulfillment? So journaling or writing about these can help you break the old patterns. Number 2, track prediction errors. So keep a diary of moments when someone defied your expectations in a good way. So these prediction errors are keys to updating your subconscious preferences and gravitating toward healthier partners. Number 3, audit your influences. List your top partner criteria and honestly ask where these came from. Family pressures, social media, friends, true personal experiences. Are they still serving your happiness and your future? Number 4, expand your circles. Broaden your network, join new groups, clubs, communities. Research shows that greater exposure to diversity shortens the time it takes to shift towards valuing deeper, more sustainable partner traits. And number 5, pause and reflect. Challenge your first impressions. When you feel a spark, when you go out and you see somebody or you talk to someone, you feel a spark, ask yourself, is this attraction based on surface signals or am I seeing real compatible potential here? Let me give you a new vision, okay? So couples who build together, stories from both research and real life consistently show that couples who create success together, whether starting from modest means or supporting each other's ambitions, are not only more satisfied, but more proud of their partnership, okay? Resilience, trust, intimacy. These things flourish when both partners are all in on the long game, investing in each other's dreams and potential. And then the personal and social impact. Not only do these couples enjoy greater stability and happiness, but their emotional health, their optimism, and even physical well-being outstrip all these other people anchored only in material security. All right, so to the woman out there viewing this video today, taught to chase the finished product, the guy that's already arrived, the lesson from the latest psychological and scientific research is clear. Authentic joy, safety, and lasting love come from investing in character, motivation. You like how I said that? I really want to drill that in. Investing in character, motivation, and shared growth. These are important. Status, confidence, and resource displays are fleeting, ladies. But the courage to believe in potential and nurture it can turn a black horse partner into a bedrock of a beautiful, enduring life. So with every new relationship you enter, you have the chance to update your script. So I would like for you to value the trajectory, not just the resume. Choose the man who dreams, who strives, and who grows with you. Because with the right supportive partnership, both science and our lived experience show that the black horse can go farther than anyone expected, taking you with him to heights you never imagined. You can dream again. All right, subscribe. Remember to subscribe so you can be notified when I make these great videos. Potentially one about the black horse man and how to identify him in a crowd. All right, thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe every time.